You know the feeling, right? You call their name, you tell them to get off the counter, and you get, well, nothing. Just a blank stare, maybe a slow blink if you're lucky. It's that classic cat owner thought. Am I just living with a very furry, very demanding roommate who doesn't pay rent?
But here's the thing. What if I told you that look of pure indifference isn't confusion? It's comprehension. Okay, so what if I told you that we actually know how cats communicate with people today?
To really get this, we have to look at how dogs and cats are just wired differently. Think of it this way. For centuries, we've bred dogs to obey us, to seek our approval. They're the eager student in the front row, hand raised. Cats, well, they evolved as solitary hunters. They're the quiet genius in the back of the class, kind of looking out the window, but you better believe they're absorbing everything.
So let's start with the big one, the word that causes the most frustration, the one we're all pretty much convinced our cats just don't get.
Yep, the first word is no. Oh, they get it. They understand the tone. They know what you mean. The problem isn't about their ability to comprehend. It's all about their motivation. They're not a dog who lives to make you happy. They're running a whole different operating system. You know that little pause after you say no? That's not them buffering. That's them calculating. In that split second, your cat is running a lightning-fast cost-benefit analysis. First, they're analyzing your tone. How serious are you really? Second, they're weighing the consequences against the incredible reward of, say, scratching your brand new sofa. And third, they make a conscious, deliberate choice to either listen or not. And get this, their little rebellious streak might actually be a sign of intelligence. Research is now suggesting that this stubbornness is linked to higher cognitive ability. So that little troublemaker shredding your curtains, they're not just being naughty, they're a tiny, furry genius flexing their intellect. At least, that's what you can tell yourself. All right, so let's move on from the word they understand but ignore to the one that science has proven without a doubt they recognize, even if their reaction is, let's say, subtle. It's their own name. Study after study has shown that cats react to their names, even when called by a total stranger. But they don't always come bounding over. Nope. You have to learn to read the signs, the little micro responses. A tiny flick of an ear, a slight turn of the head. maybe a little twitch at the end of their tail. That's their way of saying, message received, acknowledged. Now what's in it for me? Here's a little pro tip for you. If you want to get a bigger reaction, try changing your voice. Research shows they're way more responsive to that soft, high-pitched baby talk voice that we all use when we think no one's listening. Go on, give it a try. You might just get more than an ear flick for your efforts.
Now, this brings us to the command we all wish our cats would just master. But to understand why it so often fails, you have to get into what some researchers call the freelance worker mindset. It's all about the contract.
Come here. And honestly, for most cats, we've totally ruined this one. Just think about it. When do we usually yell, "Come here"? It's when it's time for nail clipping, a trip to the vet, or to stop them from doing something fun. We've accidentally trained them that "come here" means the party's over. But here's the good news. You can completely reprogram this. Cat behavior expert Dr. Sarah Ellis found that if you only use "come here" for awesome things, like treats, their favorite toy, or dinner, the reliability of that command can shoot up to 80%. You just have to make it an offer they can't refuse. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's move away from commands and talk about connection. Because some of the most important words your cat understands aren't about getting them to do something, but about how you make them feel. This might actually shock you. A study found that when given a choice between things like food, toys, and their favorite person, many cats chose social interaction with their human over food. Let that sink in. For a lot of cats, our affection is a high-value currency. So what about phrases like "good kitty" or "good boy"? When you say these things with real warmth and affection, they're doing more than just hearing sounds. They're reading your tone, your body language, and they're connecting their actions with your positive response. And this creates what experts call a positive emotional feedback loop. They learn that making you happy feels good for them too, and that builds a bond that's so much deeper than just simple commands. And finally, let's talk about the words they learn with almost no effort at all from us, all thanks to a really simple scientific principle. It's called classical conditioning. It's a fancy term for something you see every day. Every single time you say a word like treat or dinner or food, and you immediately follow it up with the actual thing, their brain forges this unbreakable link. That word starts to become just as exciting as the reward itself. And this is why your cat can be totally passed out in another room, but the second you crinkle that one specific treat bag, or you hear the pop of that one specific can, they are suddenly, magically right at your feet. Their hearing is just fine-tuned to the sounds that mean good things are coming their way. So after all this, we have to go back to that first question. That cat giving you the silent treatment, they're not being dense or disobedient. They're observing you. They're processing the situation. They're making a calculated decision. So the real question isn't whether they're listening to you. It's this: are they ignoring you, or have they just got you completely figured out?